Yo, what up, what up, what up, everybody? Welcome to RDNA. I am Mr. Williams, aka the IRA Mastermind, according to the Wu-Tang name generator. And coming to y'all this morning because I had a little something on my mind. I don't know. I watch a lot of, I catch a lot of different stuff on YouTube, and a lot of the stuff it just pops up. I don't know why. Like maybe YouTube's reading my mind or something. But actually, it's not reading my mind because I don't be thinking about any of that stuff. But anyway. That's neither here nor there. But I've noticed that there's a lot of videos like where guys are. I'm assuming the dudes are searching for this information, or you know what I'm saying, something to that effect. But alpha males, beta males, this male, that male, yada yada yada. You know, a lot of talk about, you know, a lot of talk men making videos like specifically about women and, you know, their perceived behavior or you know what I'm saying, or and something. And I'm assuming these cats are a little younger that make this content. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that they're wrong or not what they do or whatever. I feel like relationships are like way more complicated than just taking a video that something somebody said and then talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't even know the person, you don't know their experience, there's a lot of things that go into everything. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, I feel like, plays a part into how their relationships work. But it does. It seems like there's like some kind of something going on between, the sisters and the brothers. These days it's like we are at some sort of an impasse. But I do believe that that's just a social media thing. I think that quietly relationships are still thriving, you know what I'm saying, in the black community as they always have. You know what I'm saying? I just think that a lot of times, again, like social media, we get caught up in, we see so much of something and we assume it's a lot, but not even everybody that could be on the internet or on social media is there. You know what I'm saying? So maybe things seem larger in scope than they really are. But again, first things first, nobody's perfect, male, female, we're different. People are different. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna like everybody the same. You know what I'm saying? So where one guy might have a bad experience with a female, you know what I'm saying, or a female have a bad experience with a guy, a specific guy, another guy might come along and this is the perfect thing. That's life. That's not like patterns or behavior. That's not finding somebody who fits your mold. Because I don't think, maybe I could be wrong. I know I personally was never looking for nothing specific. I found the things that fit and recognized that they fit. For me and the other person. Wow, these are these traits, these are that. Oh man, that works for me. And I assume it played out vice versa. And a big part of the whole relationship thing in general is the friendship part. That's the biggest part of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Because when you really break it down, this is my perspective, if your lady, like, oh man, you always hang out with your boys. Key factor in that is that your boys, those are your friends. That's why we jump and do this. Oh, Tony need me to go over here. Such and such. And you jump into your boys, because those are your friends. Those are the people in your life you feel like you can count on, and you want to make sure they can count on you. Now, you take the woman in your life, and if she is your friend in the same way, it's going to be the same thing. The difference is that y'all have a love relationship. And the friendship is just another layer to that. The friendship starts, I say this friendship should be at its apex before there's even like any like marriage or anything like that. The friendship should be at its apex. Like, damn, even if I wasn't with you, or even if y'all wasn't together, whatever the case may be, it should be at this apex where, damn, I would do anything for you, even if we wasn't together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look out if I needed to or do whatever because you my friend. And I understand in male female relationships that shit might be hard to get to because you add in the quotient of the physicalness of a male female relationship or same sex relationship. I don't want to, what I'm saying, because I'm not biased. And everybody to each his own is what I say. But so I mean, there's variables. You can't take everything. Like me, if I go into a relationship, I meet a person, okay, I'm understanding this person. So my first thing for me, what I bring to the table is I'm going to try and understand you, the person, whoever you are. I'm going to try and understand you. And I'm going to try to get to know you. I want to know you. I want to know what makes you tick, because, I mean, number one, I just say for myself, I personally don't have a type, I don't think. So, I could be all over the place, but it's just a connection for me. But I wait for that connection. Like, I don't make frivolous connections to people. I never really have. Like, I wasn't never the type of person to go out of my way to try and become a part of a group or this or that. That's just never been me. And maybe sometimes to my detriment. But I always look for things that fit me. The kind of person that I am, the kind of person that I want to be, the kind of people that reflect my values. And maybe a lot of times people are choosing with their eyes, and they're not choosing with for lack of a better word, they're not choosing with their heart. You know what I'm saying? They're not choosing with their intellect. So that's just one aspect of it. I would like to get into this topic more, but I'm not I tell people all the time, I'm not really wanting to try to tell people what they shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking a side. I don't have a side. I just wish it didn't seem like that, at least on social media, it's like that the brothers and sisters at each other's throat. You got these guys over here. Sisters are trash. They don't want black men. They don't want this and that and yada yada yada. And the vice versa. As far as that stuff goes, I mean, shit, I've dated across the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really date across. Not even dated. You know what I'm saying? They weren't dates. They were entanglements. But you land back where you land at. I've always personally, I love black women. You know what I'm saying? But I love women too, in general. So it's not, to feel favored, to be like, oh, if we put 5-10 different women up against the line, you know what I'm saying? And am I going to pick the women that I'm most attracted to, or I'm going to pick the women that look the most like me? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, that's not fair. I'm probably going to pick a little bit of everything, I like variety. But anyway, but like I said, people is the number one thing. People. We don't control that. We don't control people. So trying to psychoanalyze people's behavior and, labeling people toxic and all this, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? It's, like I said, it's cool to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all for these conversations. You know what I'm saying? It's stimulating to me. Like, I feel like as a man, I'm in a secure place, about myself, and honesty about myself, and I can't speak for other. Can't speak for other men. I don't speak for myself. Any video that I make is solely my perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even trying to change nobody's mind. This is just me getting it off. But there's just a little tiptoeing, saying some stuff that I'm really not normally comfortable talking about, because like I said, it's you don't know. You don't know nothing. You think a lot, but you don't know anything. You can know what you can look right at, but I can't look inside anybody else's head or their mind or their situation and tell them exactly what it is, because I can't read minds. You know what I'm saying? None of us can read minds. We can read actions, and in that alone, that we all have a choice. None of us are hamstrung when it comes to making decisions and choices. We intake the data, assess it and analyze it, and then we go with it, or we don't go with it. I don't find it very complicated. I find it interesting. I like to get to know a woman. Like I want to get to know, what makes her tick. What I want to find all her beauty, outer and inner. I want to enjoy every bit of her, because that's me. Some of us are different. Some women are different. They may not care if a man has a deep mind, or if he has a sensitive side. They may not care about that shit. But then there's some that do, that could appreciate it, or may never been exposed to that type of man. And then like, damn, I didn't know you could be this shit and that shit at the same. Yeah, baby. So, like I hope that, I hope that, some of this stuff works out, because I hate, honestly, I hate seeing I hate hearing black men get talked about as a monolith. Like we all the same, and like a lot of these people aren't speaking just like as owning their own experience. They're casting a wide net. And the same thing with the brothers who talk about the sisters. Like I never feel like no woman has been trying to do anything to me, and then guess what? If I did, it's up to me to, Like I have a part in this. You can't you can be manipulated and twisted and all this, but you still right there in the situation. So you always have an opportunity to wake yourself up. So I don't like but I will say this, from some of the stuff that I have seen, there is a ton of fuckery out here in the dating scene for the youngsters. But like I said, if you out there with the right intentions, if you're not out there trying to live your video fantasy or your fucking Instagram dream, then you might actually meet a nice person and y'all might connect on a real level, because guess what? People still do that. And you don't need me or anybody else in a freaking YouTube video to tell you otherwise. There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place when if you in your early 20s and you out being young and ignorant and saying and doing young ignorant stuff, that happens. When I was in my early 20s, I did young ignorant stuff. The difference was there was no camera to catch it, and I was not recording it. But for right now, that's my little rant for the day. I am Mr. Williams. This has been RDNA, and I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.